You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.
What's up, Steeler Nation? Welcome to the Mark Lesko Podcast. I'm your host, J-Rod, and this is Steelers Central. What a bye week, guys. We didn't have to do a thing, and 3 losses to the AFC North. We are now completely in the driver's seat. Man, it feels like easy street. You know, my kickoff is going to be Steelers are in the driver's seat. Keep your foot on the gas. That's really the message we need to be sending to that coaching staff, because that's all we know. It's where it's at, guys. We know these injuries are going to be, you know, kind of shaky in the beginning, where it's like, well, Calvin Austin doesn't sound like he's going to be back as quickly as they said he could be. So, I mean, he's going to take it easy. And I totally understand that. That's no reason to rush him back if he's not going to be 100%. He can't do what he does and be as good as he can be, and we need him to be. If he's not there, you keep him down. Make sure that he is ready to go when we need him. And Jalen Ramsey, yeah, that sounds like it's going to be the same situation. It could be 4 to 6 weeks. Worst case scenario, hopefully. But there's good news coming, too. I mean, there's going to be Jalen Warren's coming back. JPJ finally will be healthy again. And Alex Highsmith. Hopefully that would be good news, too. I mean, you always need these players to be as healthy as they can be, to contribute what they can do on the field, move some guys around, try to make things as, you know, difficult for any offensive coordinator that we're going to be facing. And yeah, that's what you have right now. Everybody is ready to go. We're off the bye week finally. It felt like a long time. It really did. But it's nice to know that we're going into it with this situation. And with that said, I said it before, please, coaching staff, please, Mike Tomlin, please do not do what you normally do. It's got to be a different situation, because, again, it's a different guy with Aaron Rodgers. That's really what it's all about for me, because we haven't had a situation in a while where we have a quarterback that can do spectacular things, and the offensive line is playing as competitive and has high octane and high hopes for going forward with everything we got in the next couple weeks. So please just do not do what you normally do and make us sweat. Like, that's really what it comes down to, guys. We're all fans. We all want good things for the Steelers, and that just doesn't seem to be in their criteria. That doesn't seem to be in their agenda, that coaching staff, where they want the fans to be happy. That doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like the exact opposite half the time. It always seems like when you watch a Steeler game, you got to have the respirator handy. You got to have the gurney. You got to, you know, feel like take your blood pressure, get your medicine. It seems like it's always a terrible situation to go through, but we just love the team so much that we put up with it. That's just really what it comes down to. We just love them so darn much, and we just want good things for them. So please, don't ever take your foot off the gas. Don't mess this situation up. And it's basically a gift wrap that you could ask from, with all the injuries that the other teams are going through. Guys, the recap with the AFC North, yeah, we all know what happened. It was a tough, tight loss with the Browns taking on the Vikings. They had them pretty well sealed up, except for that final drive, and that's what won it for the Vikings. So the Browns go 1-4. The Ravens, without Lamar Jackson, without that star quarterback, I mean, the whole thing is just pedestrian. The defense is on pace to be historically bad. The offensive line can't seem to get holes for the aging Derrick Henry, who is starting to look like a 32, 33-year-old running back. He's definitely all out of whack. And again, with Cooper Rush being your backup, 3 interceptions he threw? Goodness gracious. I don't really know if you can put that completely on coaching, but yeah, there's that situation too. Just seems like it's all over the place when it comes to the Baltimore situation. And again, I'm not one of those fans that just be like, ha ha, poor you, that's what you get. No, I'm not. I very much want to be a respectable guy. I want to always make sure that I find ways to have a mutual understanding of what they're going through. Because again, I haven't been to the Super Bowl. We haven't been to the Super Bowl in 15 years. So we haven't won a playoff game in 8 years. I mean, I have no room to trash talk whatsoever. I just know the situation is currently that the Browns have the issues they're having because they just cannot find the right rhythm offensively. They're doing things defensively, but it's just not enough. And with the Ravens, it's just all imploding. Everything that can go wrong for them right now is, and it's kind of with the Bengals too. And of course, the Bengals situation is just the organization itself just cannot seem to get the defense right, can't get the offensive line right. The coaching seems like it just has no answer once you had Joe Burrow go down, and his situation's even worse than Lamar. He may not be back at all this year. So it's just what the circumstances are. And I just really hope, again, I got to repeat myself about it at least 15 times in this video, to just take a look at this platter that they're serving us. It's just like, come on. It's not that tough. Just put it in the microwave, hit the start, just like you don't have to do a whole lot to make this work. And we know this, though. We just know this as fans. And it's just like, man, it seems too good to be true. But they talk about the Ravens still having the opportunity to take this division despite everything. They're 1-4, we're 3-1, yet they still have the odds-on favorite. But that's also because the schedules look pretty suspect in the sense like they really made it like they had a tough first half, and then once they got into their bye week after the Rams, they play the Bears, they play it's very low teams that they could win if Lamar gets back. And I think they said he would be back, if not by Chicago, then the game after. And I know that, again, I can't remember the schedule off the top of my head, but they have a lot of teams that they can match up. They can start to get healthy defensively. And yeah, like all of a sudden it could flip. Because again, we know how these situations have gone these past few years with the Steelers, guys. 2023, we had to scratch and claw back into the situation with Mason Rudolph, and it was close. We got to the Buffalo Bills. We had them in halftime close, and they ran away with it, and that was the end of that. And then 2024 comes along. We didn't have really a quarterback in the room because Mason left, and what we had was, who did we have at the time? I'm totally blank. I think we still did have Mitch. I don't remember if we did or not. But then all of a sudden, Russell Wilson was acquired and Justin Fields, and it was crazy. Like, oh gosh, now we have too many. Like, it's just a crazy room. And they did very Tomlin things where Justin Fields was doing enough to keep his job, but he made the promise to Russell, and when they went to him, it was okay. It wasn't like it was completely falling off, and they were 10-3. There was no reason to feel like, oh, there's no way they could completely collapse, could they? But that schedule was an absolute gauntlet to go through, and our defense was completely gassed by the end of the season, and it still had problems up until the Patriots game, where they were just constantly giving up so much rushing and so many big plays. It was a crazy situation to watch them go from 10-3 just to completely dwindle, go into that Ravens game. And if there was one Steeler fan they were delusional, and it was the exact result, but even worse. And everything else was done. Justin Fields left and went out the door, and Russell Wilson was going to another team. We had him up until we got Aaron Rodgers. And once Aaron Rodgers came in, Russell went elsewhere. Again, you did not have any inkling what was going to occur at the beginning of this season when Aaron Rodgers was acquired. And when they went through training camp, when they went through the preseason, everything so far sounded like everything was good. There was no drama. There was no issues with the organization or whatnot. The players wanted to play with, Rodgers. He was like a great team player. Yeah. And then you saw what they did against the Jets. It was a real fought game by Rodgers. He did everything he could from his skill set, and it was impressive to see that. And then the Seahawks game, again, if you just take 2 or 3 plays away, maybe the game wasn't as bad as it looked. And then they played the Patriots the next week, and everything looked like once Derek Harmon came back, it was a much better situation. The run game was the run defense was a lot more buttoned up. The pass defense was still a thing that you just can't seem to figure out. Again, if JPJ comes back and he's as good as he can be, like that would be a huge help. But now Ramsey's out, and you think about Slay and inserting like Chukwuesekor. No, what's his name? Eccles. Yeah. So you have Eccles who could possibly step in and do something. But yeah, there's a lot of questions going into the rest of the season if that's going to be better or it's going to keep improving like everything else has been. And with Jaylen Warren, it's like, could we possibly see what we saw with Gainwell going in? Could we see that same kind of result with Jaylen? And if that's the case, guys, that's going to be a huge boost for the offense. Getting the field open a lot more, doing something with the passing game with Aaron Rodgers. That's all you can ask for. Like this situation, again, is about staying in this very nice, cushiony drive down this road. It's a one street, it's not traffic. It's not crazy, just nice down. The hood's down and the sun's shining. The beach is over there and it looks great. So we have a whole season to still play, but this situation's looking really good, guys, and I'm just excited. I mean, getting back into it with this week coming up, I will be doing the prediction tomorrow, so I will not go into any matchups and stuff for week 5. But with that said, let's move on to my halftime show, which is doing a recap of week 5. So what you have was that Thursday night thriller. Oh, my goodness. 26-23 49ers, just an incredible game by Mac Jones. Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay did everything they could to pull it out. But again, Kyle Shanahan's just a genius of a coach. He does do great things, and he made them do enough to get that win. That was, again, back and forth, the overtime. Yeah, that's what football should always be like. Fantastic start to the week. And then, of course, the London game with the Vikings and the Browns. The Browns, again, they did button up Carson Wentz and company, and it was a pretty interesting matchup. But, if you look further into these results that are slowly loading, yes. I mean, yeah, Carson Wentz, 25 for 34, 236 yards, a touchdown. Very nice. I mean, Cam Akers, the one play he made, it has a big impact. Dylan Gabriel, 19 for 33, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's a pretty respectable day for a guy who's really just being thrown into the situation. But yeah, the Vikings, they just have great players. Between Justin Jefferson, Jordan Mason did enough. But look at that. Quishon Junkins, 110 yards. They've got some players. With David Njoku, it's not going to be an easy matchup. In fact, that's the biggest challenge, I think, going into the from the bye week to see what the Steelers are really made of. If they can somehow get a win with this, I'll get more into that, but still, it's a big matchup to see. And the Colts taking on the Raiders. My goodness, look at the Colts, guys. So this right here tells you this is a team to really be reckoned with in the AFC. Just unbelievable. Daniel Jones, 20 for 29, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just remarkable. But, Geno Smith had a really bad day. Pete Carroll and them, this very, very interesting situation. Again, you're just trying to find something that works, and everything on paper sounded great for the Raiders, but it has to also transpire on the games. But when you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor, guys, 3 touchdowns, just absolute stud. And he did also have some catches. And look at our guy, Tyler Warren, former Penn Stater, just doing some spectacular rookie things. I think Ibuka for the Tampa Bay Bucks, I think he's rookie of the year, but Tyler can't be that far behind, guys, with those numbers. So just congrats for that. Yeah, great team, the Colts. Saints and Giants. Saints, it's just kind of someone needed to win. It's nice to see some competition, but it's really about what the Giants don't have, and they're just in a tough spot. The Cowboys taking on the Jets, 37-22. Dak Prescott had a great game, but again, you see the Jets, it's just like, man, what a tough environment that has to be, knowing that they're so close, but they just don't have any real the whole motion of it, just trying to find something that works and just not. It's unfortunate, but yeah, the Cowboys are 2-1. It'll be interesting to see what they do next week. The Broncos and the Eagles, what a great game that was, from the sense like you had the Eagles up 17-3 the whole game, and then just watching the Broncos and Sean Payton and Bo Nix, it's a good tangent. So they're tough. They're going to be an interesting team going forward for sure. The Panthers, Dolphins, again, just the Panthers, they were down pretty bad the whole fourth quarter, and then they just came alive and they showed up. Like the Dolphins situation, again, injuries and bad timing, and it's just the way it can be. Like the issue with Tua Tagovailoa, he's the quarterback, and it's like you have Jalen Waddle has good players, but again, everything has to be right. And a team with their issues, like just knowing consistency with the offense and defense, like it just needs to be better, and it's just a tough situation right now. The Texans and the Ravens, my goodness gracious. Like that's just, I'm not saying it makes you smile as a Steeler fan, but it's like, how crazy is that to see that for the Ravens at home? Again, all the injuries they have, all the situations, like if it was the other way around, it would not have been that bad. It really would not have. I know how good the Ravens can truly be. It's hitting them hard, and it's hard to find any kind of ground once that starts to go that way. But hey, still a short, long season. We got plenty still to get through. With the Titans and the Cardinals, my goodness, that one situation. Oh, what was his name? The running back. He was crossing the end zone and just, again, doing that showboating and or just not paying attention. It's just crazy how you're not looking for that line and making sure you're over it. I saw on the sideline the coach gave him an earful, and rightfully so. I mean, it looked really vicious, like that chew out. Like, whew, that just makes me cringe, and I just was watching. I can only imagine getting it. So yeah, that's just what the nature is. Sometimes you got to get these guys buttoned up and things like that. That went from being a 3-2 win to a 2-3 fourth place in your division. It's a tough division to be a part of. But hey, Cam Ward and them got their first win of the season, so good for them. Bucks and Seahawks. Wow, what a game. That might be the game of the weekend. I mean, no one really brought it up, but yeah, that's awesome to see it go back and forth like that. Between Baker and Sam, they were going crazy. And again, they've got great players. Ibuka had a great game. Jackson Smith and Jacob for the Seahawks had a great game. Their running backs were doing some awesome thing. Yeah, it's just what football should look like all the time. But yeah, it's great to see that the Bucs are a contender. Seahawks, like, they fight tough. I mean, makes it look all the more impressive to know how good they can be. So yeah, great game. Lions and Bengals. It's a lot closer than it probably should have been. I think the Lions were just kind of like, yeah, we're just letting them have kind of any points at all. So they knew they were going to win that game, guys. So it's just, that's what the Lions have been ever since the first week. Everyone wrote them off because they got new coordinators. Come on, guys. It's one game. And look at them now. Probably the best team in the NFC. Speaking of which, the Commanders took on the Chargers. Man, oh man. The Commanders, they're gunning for the Eagles. I know the Eagles had a tough loss with the Broncos, but the Eagles haven't exactly been the biggest threat. They've been like in close to these games, and they've just eked out all the wins, but it's just like the Commanders, they look like they are ready to do something. So Jaden Daniels and company, and again, Terry McLaurin going down, and then Deebo Samuel from the 49ers goes to the Commanders, and he becomes the star. And it's like once Terry McLaurin comes back, it's going to be a fun team to watch. And that Sunday night game, whoo-wee, 23-20. So encouraging to know that there is competition outside of the Bills. Not that I don't want the Bills to lose or anything. That's absolutely the exact opposite. I like the Bills a lot. But to know that the Patriots are decent and they're showing some fight, doing that in Buffalo, Mike Vrabel and company, Drake May did everything he needed to be a part of that win. And yeah, it's a very important thing to see competition in this particular division. And of course, tonight's game, the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Woo-hoo. Look at that. That is such an exciting second half. Seeing Trevor Lawrence and them come back, fighting Claude, Patrick and them doing what they do. Like, this is just what a good game should look like. And seeing the Jaguars do what they do. It's now showing that they've got some fight for the AFC South against the Colts. Yeah, this is just going to be nuts, guys. I mean, if you flip over to the standings, which will be my last couple of minutes here, guys. So let's start here again in the AFC East. Whew. The Bills and the Patriots, guys. It's between these two teams. Very nice coaches, great pieces. I mean, it was a great matchup. So we'll see them play each other again sometime this season. I don't know the schedule, but it's nice to see that the Patriots and the Bills, they're playoff teams for sure. As of this very moment, the Steelers are sitting atop, looking pretty. Again, we always have that feeling in the bottom of the gut that's like, oh, when's it going to start? It's just, you just have that feeling, guys. You know this as fans. It's too good to be true. It's like, how can we be this far ahead? But you just enjoy it while it's here. You have the couple of games you have coming up. You take care of it, and it's like it gets even better. But it's still a young season. We could see the Ravens come back. I don't see a chance for the Browns or the Bengals, but the Ravens still have a shot, no matter what it says. That's why, I mean, you look at the schedule they have. It's just they have a lot of wins that they could potentially get. So it's not like I can't just say, oh, we have this wrapped up. It's never the case. It's too early to do that. And, of course, you see, again, with the AFC South, the picture is Colts and Jaguars. I mean, the Texans, maybe – it's right now they're just in the hunt, or they're just kind of in the middle. Jacksonville for sure, and Colts. This will be a fun game to watch when they take on each other. This will be fun. It'll be interesting. And of course, with the loss to the Jaguars, now it's like the Chargers and the Broncos stay at 3-2. They are sure playoff teams. Chiefs, I think they could still again figure things out, be tough. So what do you got? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of how many? 16? Yeah, so 10 out of 16 teams right now, guys, look like playoff teams. I very much am enjoying the picture I'm seeing so far. Yeah, it's very close to tell. But again, I'll end it with this. We know that there's so much left to play in the season. We have some guys we're getting back, and it's just try your darndest to stay positive. I know it's a tough thing. The culture of the Steelers with Tomlin, again, we know what we're going into. We know it. It's been documented. We know it. I just very much appreciate seeing the situation it is. Nice to know that we have something to look forward to. But again, we have this matchup coming up. Going right back into the season, we have the Browns at home. We have the Bengals on the road Thursday, the very next that week. So we have 2 games in 1 week. And then we'll have the whole week to recuperate, get ready for the big Sunday night matchup against Jordan Love and company at home against the Packers. And then I believe we have the Colts at home as well. So, yeah, we've got ourselves a stretch, folks. It's really going to be interesting. If we can take care of the first 2 teams in the division, we'll be 2-0 in their division. We'll be 5-1. And everyone else, again, worst case scenario for everybody else, again, they all lose out. And then we'll be like 3.5 games in first, just enjoying it. And then we get into that gauntlet part of the schedule. Again, Packers and Colts. Chargers could be healthy by that time. I know they're banged up. Again, that's what you're looking at with their situation. Justin Herbert and them, it'll be in San Diego or Los Angeles. No longer in San Diego. Still Los Angeles. And then I believe we come home for, is it the Bills? I'm trying to remember. My apologies. I thought this would be quicker to load. Yeah, so it's the Packers, the Colts, and at Chargers, and then we're home for the Bengals, and then we take on the Bears. Again, that's up in the air. Who knows what version of the Bears we'll get. And then we come home for the Bills, then this the Ravens, and the only game that's really easy on the schedule is then we're home for the Dolphins on Monday night, but then we have the Lions, Browns, and Ravens. I mean, it's still a long season, guys. 11 games left. Or no, 12. Yeah, 12. So, yeah, it's just crazy to know that we've got the season we have ahead of us. I'm just going to enjoy what we have right now. And hopefully that when I start to go into tomorrow's recap or outlook for week 6, you'll find out what I have to say about it. So hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Again, I just am so excited. I'm glad that we're back out of the bye week. We're ready to go. Keep it going, guys. Make sure that you just don't let your guard down. Just keep trying your darndest to keep this spot. It'd be nice to be a nice surprise. So hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. You have yourselves a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys for the next one. Here we go, Steve.